Hi, this is Old Lady here, and I just wanted to give you for those of you who have never used Google Classroom, just a brief tutorial video. You can find lots of these on YouTube, but I thought it would just be quick for us just to learn how to do a couple things. And please feel free to email me and I will show you how to do that. If you have any questions about how to post something on Google Classroom, how to organize it. So for those of you who are used to having a student view on Google Classroom, you're going to see here the teacher view, which most of you have, is going to be a little different. So you're going to have these 4 tabs because you guys are listed as teachers. You're going to have the stream, and I'll go into more detail on each of these general tabs, but the stream is where quick announcements come up. The classwork tab is where you can post, this is where when we talked about arranging in topics, this is where you can post your different, you can do it by, we can create a topic, for example, crafts, we can, and put different craft activities underneath that. We'll have to decide how we want to do that. The people tab, you can see I've listed, I've invited all the teachers, and in addition we have students. Students you can email we'll talk about how to email in a minute. Grades is something we won't be using, so I'm not even going to go into this because the students aren't going to be grading it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through, explain the purpose of, re-explain the purpose of the different parts and what you would do. So in the stream, this is where you're going to have your general announcement. I know as a teacher, I train my kids on the classwork, but in the stream, you would put any announcements for that day. For example, if you noticed, I posted the link for the meeting for tonight. If you want to do something, it's very simple. You just type your message in here and hit post. If you want to add, you can add from Google Drive. You can put a link in, a file, a YouTube video. And what's nice is, for example, if we did this, it can go to all students. You can make the announcement go to just certain groups, and we can figure out how we want to do that. But these are just general announcements. I'm thinking if we were doing this as a regular Camp Firefly, we may want to just put the meeting for tonight, and that may be where we want to do the opening ceremony. And if you don't want to post, you can cancel. Classwork, this is the tab where I was thinking we would probably use more, but you can decide. So you can create many different things. You can create an assignment. The advantage of creating an assignment is it will go onto a Google Calendar, and it will post for the kids. But since there's no due dates, I'm not sure that an assignment is what we would probably use. I think we would probably be using, the 2 things I think we would be using more is the material and the topic. The assignment comes in for an advantage. Where you get the advantage is that the student can add things. So if we do decide to do an assignment, you would type in the title, Aztec coloring page. Then you would go over here, you would make it ungraded. I would probably not put a due date in. I'm going to create a topic just to, I'll show that later. And then what would happen is you would add the coloring page up, probably from a Google Drive, or if you have a file on your computer, you can add it. You would assign it, and then what happens is the students are able to take a picture. Now, one of the things that I was saying is topics. So let's say the Aztecs were going to be, that may be one of the topics. We could make this Aztec Station 1. Add. And then if I'm doing that, I can move that. And then what's nice is I can also move the in-person meeting. So we can move this, we can play around with that. We can figure out what we want to do. But if we want students to attach stuff, you're going to have to make an assignment. If we just want to share materials with students, then we would just use the material. They just wouldn't be able to share with us. So that is where we would be posting stuff. And like I said, it just comes up from this create. Then we can decide how we want to do that. This question, you can do poll questions. You can do different types of questions. And that is totally up to you. Also, if you're doing Quizlet, Kahoot, things of that nature, you can also attach them to this using links. It's very simple. The last tab we would be using is people. As I've said, what's nice is I can email somebody directly from here. And as I was showing, I can add, if we have the campers, I can email the campers all at once from Google Classroom. Also, as you can see, what I did, let me show you this. So I put the June 24th meeting and I made it an assignment. So what happens now, you can see it automatically populated on my Google Classroom. So you are able to do that. I think I made that in an assignment. Yeah. So we can do that. And if I make a due date for the assignment, let me go back. I can also edit an assignment. So I can make a due date for this assignment if it is like, for example, to meet. All right. And what's nice is then if I do a due date for an assignment, it will post up on the upcoming, so that when the students, if they have a general couple of these, it'll also show up on the front page. I know this was just a rough draft. This is not the best video, but it's just a general idea. I'm also going to put a link from another video of a teacher. I'm going to put 2 in here so that you're able to see some other in-depth if you're interested on organizing and posting in Google Classroom. Thank you for your time.